Hello students, in today's class we are going to discuss about energy level diagram. In last class we studied different energy levels of hydrogen atom. Kindly watch the previous video. So there we ends with for hydrogen atom the different energy levels. E1 is equal to minus 13.6 into 1 square divided by 1 square equal to minus 13.6 electrovolt in ground state. So in ground state we have minus 13.6 electrovolt, okay, for n equal to 1. Then our energy level further change. Then for second value minus 13.6 into 1 square by 2 square for second orbital, and the energy level is minus 1.51 electrovolt. Okay, sorry, for second level we have minus 3.4 electrovolt. So this is minus 3.4 electrovolt for second orbital. Okay, minus 3.4 electrovolt. Then again we substitute another value. So the general equation is energy equal to minus 13.6 into Z square by N square electrovolt, and here Z equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. So for first orbital ground state you have minus 13.6. If we substitute 1 here, for second orbital if we substitute 2 here, then we have minus 3.4. Then for third orbital if we substitute 3 here, then we have minus 1.51, nearly somewhat here. For third orbital minus 1.51. Then for fourth orbital we have minus 0.85, n equal to 4 minus 0.85. So like that it will goes on up to the infinite value. Here n equal to infinite. So for infinite orbital the total energy is 0, which means the electron which are present in outermost shell, we need not to give any external energy to remove it from the atom. For the first orbital, okay, for the first orbital we have to give this much of energy, then only electron will come out of the atom or will come out of the orbital. For second orbital we have to only give this much of energy, because we know force is inversely proportional to distance square by inverse square law. So for the nearmost electron it have more electrostatic force. To remove this electron we have to give 13.6 energy. Then for the second orbital we need to give 3.4 energy to remove it from the orbital. Then for third orbital electron we have to give minus 1.51. okay, here the distance will increase. Then for another distance, the infinite orbital, which means the outermost orbital, the distance will be very more. If the distance will be more, then force will be less according to Coulomb's law. So distance will be more, force will be less. If the distance is infinity, then force will be 0, which means for the outermost orbital, the free electron, it can easily come out of the orbital, it can easily come out of the atom. That electron is also known as free electron. Okay, so here the energy of photon is always equal to difference in two energy level. So photon makes transition, or we can say the energy makes transition. So energy is nothing but which is derived from the light energy. Light have small quanta, small packs, that is known as photon. So the total energy is equal to the difference in two energy level, En2 minus En1. Okay, so you see the difference here, difference between N2 and N1 for these two orbital. So the difference is nearly 10.2. okay, minus 13.6 and 3.4 we have nearly 10.2, right? So it have the difference of 10.2. Then for this it have the difference of nearly 1.5 1.89. So likewise the difference value will decrease. Okay, so the total energy is equal to difference in two energy levels. Clear? But here we have certain drawbacks. So we can also rewrite this equation Hc by lambda. We know energy equal to Hc by lambda En2 minus En1. So we will see the drawbacks in Bohr's model. So Bohr's model only applicable for hydrogen atom or hydrogen-like atom, which means the atom which have single electron in its outermost orbital. Okay, like helium, lithium, beryllium. So all these atoms have single electron in its outermost orbital. So it is only applicable for these type of metals. If you see the electronic configuration of these metals, it have only single electron in its outermost orbital. Okay, then second point, it cannot explain spectrum of multi-electron. As I said here, it is only applicable for single electron, so we cannot explain multi-electron spectrum species. Okay, it only explains single electron spectrum. Then third point, it does not take into account wave nature of electron. So it does not take into account wave nature of electron, which is violating de Broglie hypothesis. We know by de Broglie hypothesis, we proved that electron have both particle nature as well as wave nature. Correct? But with the help of Bohr's atomic model, it cannot take into account of wave nature of electron. It only considers particle nature of electron. Then it is also violated Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. So Heisenberg's uncertainty principle means we cannot able to find the position as well as momentum of an electron simultaneously. Either we can find the position or we can find the momentum. Okay, so it is not clearly or very elaborately given in your book. It is just given Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. But you know, which means we cannot able to find the position as well as momentum of an electron simultaneously. Either we can find the position or we can find the momentum. We cannot able to find both on single place. That is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Okay, so for example, from Bohr's atomic model, we know the position of electron, which is R equal to n square h square epsilon naught divided by pi m z e square. R means radius, that is position of electron in orbital. Similarly, momentum of electron, that is P equal to mv, linear momentum formula. So m into, we know the velocity of electron, z e square divided by 2h epsilon naught n. So by the Bohr's atomic model, we can able to find both position of electron as well as momentum of electron. But according to Heisenberg's uncertainty, we cannot able to find both the value at the single time. So this Bohr's atomic model violated Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Then fifth point, it cannot explain splitting of spectral lines in electric and magnetic field. So we know spectral lines produced when electron transfer from one place to another place while it is giving some energy. We have various spectral lines, but it cannot explain in the form of electric field as well as magnetic field. So how much spectral line elaborated, how much spectral line emitted in electric field, how much emitted in magnetic field, we cannot explain with Bohr's atomic model. So these are the drawbacks of Bohr's atomic model. So here one important thing that you have to notice, while electron moving from one level to another level, it emits some energy. By absorbing the same amount of energy, it again comes to higher level to lower level. Okay, for example, by absorbing 10.2 amount of energy to move from first orbital to second orbital. Okay, so while it move from first orbital to second orbital, it releases this much of amount of energy, 10.2. By absorbing the same amount of energy, electron again come to second orbital to first orbital. Okay, so while it is moving, it emits some energy. While it is coming back or return to its original position, then again it have to absorb some energy. Next topic, atomic spectrum. So what is mean by spectrum? We will see it in very explanation manner. So here we have a prism and we pass a white light into the prism. We know what will happen. White light dispersed into 7 color, which we studied in 10th CBSE, right? So white light dispersed into 7 color, which is generally termed as VIBGR, correct? We have violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Okay, so this 7 color known as spectrum. We can say this is continuous spectrum. All the 7 colors will appear in the screen. So this is continuous spectrum. We can classify the spectrum into 2 types. I think 12th metric students already studied, but we will see here in more explained way. So it is classified into 2 types. First one is emission spectrum, then absorption spectrum. We will see one by one. In emission spectrum, we have atomic gas which is heated with electric current. So while heated, it emits some radiation. That radiation hit on the prism. So while it is coming out of the prism, we have some specific wavelength appears in the screen. So in this process, we have spectrum in a discrete manner, or we can say this spectrum as a line spectrum. So here we have particular color, say example violet, blue, green, yellow, like that. Then the remaining spaces are empty, or we can say dark. So these spaces are dark and these are only color. So why we have this kind of spectrum? Why here we have dark? What about the remaining colors? So let's see with the explanation of emission spectrum. We have a positive charge. So around the positive charge we have orbital. Okay, so electrons revolving in those orbitals. We know different energy levels. For first energy levels, we have minus 13.6 for this electron. When the electron present in second orbital, the energy level is minus 3.4. Then for next one, minus 1.51. Next one, minus 0.85. Then for nth orbital, the energy is 0. Correct? You can say first orbital, second, 3, 4. So here we heated the gas. What will happen while heating the gas? The atoms, or we can say the electrons which are present in the atom, will start to excite, will start to move from its orbital to another orbital. Okay, so I am heating this atom. I am heating this atom with the help of electric current. The electron present in the orbital will start to move, will start to make transition. While it is moving to another orbital, it releases the energy. What is that energy? That energy is the difference between these two orbitals. We can say nearly 10.2 approximately. So it releasing 10.2, okay, energy. Then again it is make transition from second orbital to first orbital. Again it is coming to its original position. So again it comes to original position by absorbing or releasing some energy which is equal to the same 10.2. So this 10.2 energy is hitted on the prism. Okay, so this much of energy hitted on the prism, and which emits various energy level, various spectrum lines. So this energy is nothing but which is also related with wavelength. Why we have different colors in VIBGR? Why we have 7 colors? How we segregate 7 colors? We can segregate 7 colors with the help of wavelength. Okay, so all the colors are exist only because of the wavelength. When the wavelength is increased, the color will change. Okay, for example, if you take red color is 7000 angstrom, red color. If the 7000 angstrom will increase, then we have dark red, very dark red, like that we have colors. From 7000 angstrom, the wavelength will decrease, then the color will change. It is become orange, okay, in a WebGR. So when the wavelength decrease, it will become orange, yellow, like that. Okay, so only the wavelength, the factor which decides the color. So wavelength only decides the color. Here energy released in the form of wavelength, correct? Energy is also nothing but it have wavelength. So while exiting from one place to another place, this electron emits radiations which have some energy, which have some wavelength. That wavelength define this color. So it releases the wavelength and it contains only this type of color, only particular color, some specific wavelength, which gives some specific color. Okay, so that's why we have only specific colors in the spectrum. Okay, in particular wavelength, say example, this is 4000, this is 4500, this is 6000, 8000, somewhat like that. Okay, and the remaining places will be dark. Clear? On heating, electron absorbs energy and it jumps to higher energy level. Let's say electron from first orbital jumps to second orbital. Electron is very unstable in higher energy level, excited state. So it again comes to lower energy level. It again comes to lower energy level from second to first by emitting energy in the form of light. So while it is coming here, it emits some energy. That is what we show here. It emits some energy in the form of light with specific wavelength and specific color. Okay. Energy of such photon, which means light, we know photon, light consists of photons. So energy of such photon is equal to difference in energy of two orbits involved in transition. In previous case, we take only two orbitals, first orbital and second orbital. So the total energy is nothing but the transition orbitals. So transition takes place between second and first. Okay, so the formula is En2 minus En1. If we take energy electron from first orbital jumps to fourth orbital, then En2 value is 4, En1 value is 1. Okay, so like that. Then we know energy equation E equal to hc by lambda. Substitute the value of hc by lambda in this equation. Hc by lambda equal to En2 minus E1, En1. This is fixed value. Why I say this is fixed value? Because we know the energy of all the orbitals, correct? So just now we studied energy of first orbital 13.6, second orbital 3.4, fourth orbital 1.51, then and so on 0.85, like that up to 0. So energy of all the orbital fixed. If this value constant, the difference between these two value also constant. Okay, so in first case, from first orbital to second orbital, the difference is 10.2, then 1.89. So like that, these two values are fixed. If these are fixed, then we can find the value of lambda, correct? So lambda have a certain specific value. So we have line spectrum. Lambda have certain specific value. If we take 3 minus 1, okay, we have certain value for third orbital and certain energy value for first orbital. Then if you find the difference, you have some specific lambda, specific wavelength. With the help of that wavelength, we have that specific color. We will see in numerical problems. Find the energy and wavelength of a photon emitted when an electron in hydrogen atom makes transition from third orbital to first orbital. Okay, so let's take energy of photon is equal to En3 minus En1. So what is En3, energy of third orbital? How to find? We know the energy formula. Energy equal to minus 13.6 into Z square by N square. That is general formula. So Z means atomic number of hydrogen atom 1. So we can write the formula minus 13.6. Z square is 1 square divided by N in which orbital? So third orbital. So 3 square minus En1. minus 13.6 into 1 square, first orbital, so here also 1 square. So here we have minus 13.6 divided by 9, minus to minus will become plus 13.6. So we have answer 9. Here we have 1 and then 4.6.4, 46, it will be 46, so 5 and then we have 1, so 1.51 plus 1, 13.6. so we have answer approximately 12.09 electrovolt. Then find the wavelength from this equation. We know E equal to hc by lambda. So lambda equal to hc by E. H value Planck's constant 626 into 10 power minus 34 into 3 into 10 power 8 divided by E value is 12.09. So if you solve this, we will get approximately 1024 angstrom. So for this much of angstrom, we have particular light color. Okay, so when electron makes transition from third orbital to first orbital, it emits only 1024 angstrom. So this value constant, it won't change. Okay, the energy 12.09 constant, lambda 1024 constant. If electron makes transition from 4 to 1, we have certain value, 5 to 1 we have some value. So for each wavelength we have each specific color of light. We will solve one shortest formula to find the value of wavelength of emitted photon. We know total energy is equal to the transition orbitals, energy between transition orbitals, we take E2 minus E1. Okay, so the value of the formula of E is hc by lambda equal to the value of E, we know another formula, that is minus 13.6 into z square by n square, right? So let's say take n as n2, then minus E1 value minus 13.6 into z square by n1 square. Okay, higher energy level minus lower energy level. Clear? Then we take 13.6 as common. We have 13.6, minus to minus will become plus. Here we have minus, here we have plus. So minus for n2 terms, plus for n1 terms. So we can take common value. I take z square common. Then I can take plus n1. So 1 by n1 square. And for n2 term we have minus. So minus 1 by n2 square. I take 13.6 z square as common. Okay. So here we have hc by lambda here. hc by lambda. We know the value of h and c. h is Planck's constant. 6.626 into 10 power minus 34. c is speed of light 3 into 10 power 8. Okay. So I take hc by lambda to the right side. Then we have 1 by lambda equal to, I take hc only to the right side. We have 13.6 z square by hc. And then 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Okay. So these values are constant. 13.6 divided by hc. Correct? So the value of 13.6 divided by hc, 13.6 divided by hc is equal to 1.09 into 10 power 7 meter inverse. Okay, by substituting a value of Planck's constant and speed of light constant value, then I have to divide with 13.6, then we have this value meter inverse. So this value also known as capital R. Capital R means Rydberg's constant. You need not to memorize this value because it is given in the question paper. So you just remember Rydberg's constant. So this is the derivation of Rydberg constant. Then substitute the value of Rydberg constant here. Instead of 13.6 by Hc, I can write 1.09 10 power 7, or I can simply put R. So our value 1 by lambda equal to R and then Z square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. So this is the final value of lambda. By this we can easily able to find the answer. Okay, because R is constant and Z, which is given in the problem, most likely hydrogen atom. So for Z is 1. Then from which orbital to which orbital transition takes place? So N to N1. By substituting all this value, then I have to make it reciprocal, then we will get lambda value. The next topic is spectral series. Based on the transition of electrons, we have different kinds of series, spectral series. Let's take, this is first level, or we can say ground state. Okay, second level, the excited state, then third excited state, and it goes on up to infinity. Let's take electron makes transition from second state to first state. Okay, we can say second state to first state. Or electron which is already excited to third state and again it is coming to first state. Okay, or we can say electron is already excited to fourth state. Okay, from the first orbital to fourth orbital, then electron is unstable, again it is returned back to the first orbital. Due to these kinds of transition, when electron return to first orbital, it emits some radiations with particular wavelength which produce particular spectral line. So that line is known as Lyman series. N equal to 1, Lyman series. Okay. In another case, the electron which are in second orbital, let's take in first orbital, second orbital, third orbital, fourth orbital, and goes on. So Lyman series means electron from first orbital move to any orbital, again it returns to first orbital. Okay, again it returns to first orbital. So these kinds of series known as Lyman series. Now electron which are present in second orbital move to any other orbital. For example, this electron excited to third state, again it is coming back to second state. So electron from second orbital excited to third state, again it is coming back to second state. Or electron in second orbital goes to fourth state, again coming to the second state. So 4 to 1 or 5 to 1. So these kinds of transition is known as Balmer series. So here the value of N is 2, or we can say N1 is 2. So what is N2? Here N2 is 3, here N2 4, here N2 5, but N1 value 2. So if N1 value 2, then this kinds of series known as Balmer series. Similarly, electron in third orbital, okay, first, second, third, electron in third orbital moves to fourth, again comes to third. So 4 to third, then 5 to third, 6 to third, then infinity to third. So here N1 value is 3, N2 here 4, N2 5, N2 6. If it is coming from infinity, then N2 value is infinity. So these kinds of series known as Pasteur series. Then from fourth orbital, 5 to 4, 6 to 4, 7 to 4, 8 to 4, infinity to 4. So when electron return to fourth orbital, this series known as bracket. Here N1 is 4 and this is bracket. Okay, then fifth orbital 625, 725, 825, infinity to 5. So here n1 value is 5, and this type of series known as fund series. P is silent, PFUND, fund series. Okay, so based on the transition of electron to which orbit it returns, based on that orbit we have these kinds of series: Lyman, Palmer, Pascher, Brackett, Fund. Okay, so n1 value will be exit based on to which orbital electron return. Here n1 is 1. Why? Because electron return to first orbital. But here n1 is 2 in Balmer. Electron return to second orbital. Here n1 is 3 and goes on. Okay. From this formula we will solve some numericals. Find the wavelength of photon when electron falls from second orbital to first orbital. So what is the formula? 1 by lambda equal to rz square, 1 by n square minus 1 by n2 square, where r equal to 1.09 into 10⁻⁷ meter inverse. So we know n2 value and n1 value. Electron move from second to first. Okay, so substitute the value 1 by lambda equal to r. So here the atom is given H, hydrogen atom. So for hydrogen atom Z is 1, so 1 square is 1. Then 1 by n1 square is 1 square minus n2 square is 2. 2 square will be 4. So we have 1 by lambda equal to r. Here we have 1 by 1, 1. 4 into 1, 4 minus 1, 3. 3 by 4. But we have to find the lambda, not 1 by lambda. So I just reciprocal this. Then lambda equal to r 3 by 4 will become 4 by 3r. 4 by 3r. Correct? I just do the reciprocal. 4 by 3r. We know the r value, but here the r is in denominator, so we can take 1 by r. What is the 1 by r value? Remember, 1 by r value will be 911 angstrom. Okay, this is the value of 1 by r. Clear? So if I substitute that 4 by 3 into, instead of 1 by r, I can write 911 angstrom. Then our lambda approximately equal to 1216 angstrom. Similarly, for third orbital, okay, here from n2 to n1, n3 to n1, what is the value? Substitute 1 by lambda or 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 3 square, from 3 to 1. So we have 1 by lambda, or here we have 9, 9 minus 1, 8, 8 by 9, 8 by 9. Then lambda will be 9 by 8 or 9 by 8, or we can write 9 by 8 into r value 911 angstrom. So if I substitute, then we get value of 1026 angstrom. Then if I take n equal to 4 to 1, do all the steps, then you will get answer 911. Lambda is 911 angstrom. Sorry, 960. Sorry, 960 angstrom. So like that it will goes on. If you see here, one important thing, when electron transition distance is low, then we have more wavelengths. See, from 2 to 1. So electron transition is very less, from 2 to 1, just adjacent, then we have more wavelength. But when the transition is get more, transition value get more, here the difference is 2, here the difference is 3. Okay, so then our lambda value getting lesser. From this we can say, if the wavelength is more, longest wavelength, longest wavelength, then smallest transition. See, from 2 to 1, smallest transition. Smallest transition of electron. Similarly, shortest wavelength for this condition from 3 to 1 or 4 to 1. Then longest transition. Correct? So you can take the n1 value depending upon the series which you already studied here. If n1 is 2, then that is Balmer series. Then n1 is 3 Pascher, n1 is 4 bracket, n1 is 5 Pfund. The next question, find the shortest and longest wavelength of Balmer series. So for Balmer series, you first write the n1. For Balmer series, n1 will be 2. Okay. So all the electrons return to second orbital for Balmer series. Then here we have to find shortest wavelength. We know for shortest wavelength, then longest transition, correct? Longest transition. Then for longest wavelength, shortest transition. What is the formula? 1 by lambda equal to r z square 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Then hydrogen like atom, it is given, then atomic number is 1. So we know all the data. How to find shortest wavelength? So longest distance, longest transition, the maximum longest transition is infinity, correct? So n1 is 2, n2 is infinity. Now electron make the longest transition from infinity to second orbital. Okay, so with this data we will find the answer. 1 by lambda equal to r1 square 1 by n1 square. So n1 is 2, 2 square will be 4 minus 1 by infinity. So here 1 by infinity is 0. Then we have 1 by lambda equal to r by 4. Lambda equal to 4 by r. So 1 by r is 911. 4 into 911, which comes out to be 3644 angstrom. This is shortest wavelength. Then what is longest wavelength? For longest wavelength, then we have shortest transition. For shortest transition, we have n1 equal to 2, then n2 the next level, that is 3. Then will we have shortest value. So by substituting the value, we have 1 by lambda equal to r into 5 by 36. Sorry, here lambda. Then lambda value will be 6552 angstrom. Clear? The next topic is absorption spectrum. So in previous topic, in emission spectrum, what will happen? The gas, hot gas, okay, be heated with electric current, emit some radiations, and that radiations will emit only certain frequencies. When electron makes transition from one energy level to another energy level, it emits some radiations. That radiation have some energy level. That energy level have particular frequency. So each particular frequency and wavelength have particular color. Then we have violet, yellow, orange, like that. In between the color, we have dark space. Here just a reciprocal of the previous cases. We pass the white light in cold atomic gases. So this is cold atomic gas. So when we pass this white light, we know white light have several colors with GR. Then these atomic gases or this white light pass to the gases, atomic gases, and it hits on the prism. So we have various colors in such a way that The gas absorbs some frequencies or some wavelength of light which are exactly equal to the spectrum released in the emission spectrum. Okay, so in the emission spectrum some colors are missing, that colors emitted here, and some colors we see in that emission spectrum, that colors are absorbed by the cold glass. Okay, so here these are dark lines, so these dark lines appear in the screen. In between the dark lines we have color. So here we have color, blue, green, orange, red, like that. Here we have color, just the reciprocal of emission spectrum. So I will explain with a video, then you will understand it well. So here you see, when white light passes through prism, it disperses 7 colors, which is the process of dispersion, which we studied in 10th standard. So we have 7 colors, that is VIBGYOR, this spectrum known as continuous spectrum. Then we can classify this continuous spectrum into 2 types, absorption spectrum and emission spectrum. In absorption spectrum, we pass a white light into a cold gas. That gas absorbs some colors, okay, and it emits only certain frequencies of light. So due to the absorption of some colors, we have dark lines. You see it here. So in the VIBGYOR, we have certain dark lines, which represents some colors are absorbed by the cold gas. So in the screen, some colors are missing, and those spaces were mentioned as dark space. So this dark space is due to some colors are missing. So by the transition of electrons, only electrons emit these colors. In some places it have no colors, no transition. Okay, so we know energy levels depends on frequency and wavelength. So only for certain frequency we have all these colors. In the remaining value, for example, the first violet will be 3000 angstrom, then the blue will be 4000 angstrom. So in between we have dark space. In case of emission spectrum, so when we heat the gas with the electric current, it emits some radiations. So the gas molecule or the atoms starts to excite, it emits some radiations. Then we pass those radiations in a prism. We have only certain frequencies which have certain wavelength, which produce some certain colors. So this spectrum known as emission spectrum. If we compare the previous case with this, in previous case only some space, some narrow lines are dark. Here only some narrow lines are colors, the remaining spaces are dark. So these colors are the missing colors of the previous case. If you see the absorption spectrum again, in some places we have single dark line. So in those dark lines, suppose these colors should fit there. So because of the transition, the electron only emit this frequency, for example 4000, 5000, 6000, like that. Thank you.